Okay, Tammy and I are now at Bear's Mill near Arcanum in Ohio. It's about an hour's drive from the Clifton Mill. By the way, the Clifton Mill is on the Little Miami River. So, just to clarify that. So now we are at the Bear's Mill, Bears, and you can see the old mill here. So we're gonna tour this area and see what's here. And you can see here, 1849. And this was a Friday, so we're checking out all of the old grist mills here in Ohio. So we're staying right on the county line, or state line, between Indiana and Ohio, and Richmond, Indiana. So we're touring Ohio. So let's go into Bear's Mill and see what's going on. Here you can see some of the internal workings of Bear's Mill. It's still a working mill. And you can see the belts around these big wheels that go either up to the mill, or that one there goes over probably to another shaft. There's another big wheel there. You can see some of the pictures of the turbines from the mill. Wow. The bagger. Come down from the mill and it bags it right there. You can see how it's coming down from upstairs. See them big gears in there coming down from shafts. We got a nice little gift shop here. All kinds of things to buy, and flour and grits and all kinds of fixed things. Chocolates and coffee and all kinds of things. There's a Bear's Blend coffee you can taste. And aprons. Cutting boards. Nice little place. Puzzles. You can see Tammy over there looking at things. We're off tour of the mill here on the inside, and then we'll take a look on the outside. Hang in there with us. You can see that there's a shaft over there that turns that big wheel. And then this belt comes down and hooks to this generator.
Proceed to the route.
But the generator is run by the water going through the mill. And you can see this information panel here. So here's a prime example of water creating electricity, like a hydroelectric dam, but in this case it's a mill. Looks like an old generator too. And the Bear's Mill blend coffee is pretty good. Okay, we're upstairs in the mill. You can see one of the grinding areas, which ends up downstairs through the flumes. And this is corn. Wow. Holy cow. Looks like what they got in there right now is wheat germ. But this would give you corn, and this was probably the wheat coming down from upstairs. You see these little paddles, which are the on and off. You can see what the turbines look like, that the water turns, which then in turn turns the mill. There's some big gears up here. You see the belt here as it comes around that pulley. It comes down to this one. And there's the creek out there as the water comes by. They're not grinding anything today, but you can see these are called roller mills. My, oh my. You see how the belt goes through the floor down there? It goes up around these pulleys to drive the roller mills. Holy cow. You know, these mills, a lot of them were built several stories high. You can see this belt as it goes up to the next floor. Just big holes cut in the floor where the belt goes. May 1913. Huh. $1914. Boy, look at that stone. Holy criminally. Pretty cool. Sorry about that. Little steam tractor. I'm gonna go find Mom. Another grinding stone there. Look at that old screw made out of wood. Huh. Boy, oh boy. course, you can see the belt coming from upstairs. Doesn't look like they use this anymore. I can't really read some of that, but Richmond, Indiana. Old stove. A seed planter. Huh. Some old bags of 50 pound. You can see a lot of the old things they used to use here in the mill that they don't use anymore. But this one's driven by gears up there. It's tied to that wheel over there. 1895. Huh. Well, this is cool. Well, those are, I forget what they're actually called, but they're used to make shoes, to resole shoes.
Cobblers.
Yeah.
Tools.
You can see all the old flour and sacks. Boy, it's kind of like an old museum up here. Greenville, Ohio. Okay, that's where it is. Whole wheat bread flour. You can see how they sack it here, coming. Elevator legs. So that's what they're called, elevator legs, that deliver the stuff to the different levels. Well, this is like a mini museum here. That's pretty cool. See, we're out here on the second floor. Pretty neat. You can see some of the stuff that they have ground up and are in sacks. Don't know that we'd ever use nearly that much, but this is called a hexagonal sifter. Back behind this thing. Well, we're gonna make our way upstairs to the third floor. Okay, we're up on the third floor now. An old wagon. I don't know how they got that thing up here. Oh, another level 4.
Can you imagine?
Well, look at the size of that tree. This is the old growth trees from this era, or this area. Pretty neat old wagon here. Look at the size of that trap down there.
Oh my goodness.
Giddy up.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Giddy up. There's just a lot more equipment up here of different machines that they used in this era. Another wagon. 1830 seed wagon. You can see a wooden belt right there. Of course, you can see more shafts that the mill would run. That looks like an old thrashing machine, is what that looks like. But I don't know how they got it up here. But there's more apparatuses that would do different things, you know, to the milled flour, corn, whatever. They all turn with belts. Rough wheat cleaner is what this is. Goodness gracious. Glipper. See, this is a metal or wooden wheel.
Oh, snow.
Wooden teeth.
Yeah. So, you see the string there.
Goodness gracious.
On the other side of it.
You can see the old rakes over there that they used to toss the wheat with. Look at this wooden auger shaft over here. You can see how that shaft would fit inside that box. Which would move things around the mill. Broad axe, all kinds of tools. Goodness. We're now on the 4th level of this mill. Old grist mill here at the Bears Mill. You can see how the rope and pulleys would go out and lift things up to this level. On the outside is probably big hooks. They'd lower down and pick things up, drag it up here to this level. You can see another shoe on off, pull it out to open the box. Metal gears here, but look at that wooden wheel up there. My goodness. Cleaning machines. Wow. You can see how they. Can you imagine the noise this thing would make if you started it up? All these belts and pulleys and everything. But this is the way they used to do it. Storage bin for grain. And all these pulleys and belts and wheels and everything running. You know, once you put the water to the wheel. Of course, these may not actually work up here, but I see some of the belts are not tensioned or even actually off. Those wheels are made of wood. My goodness. But this is the way they did it back in the day. Series of pulleys and belts, wheels, ropes. And they knew what all of them did for sure. Absolutely amazing. You can see here what kept the bag on here is like little nails sticking out here. And they just put the bag right on that and then opened up the shoe. Down it would come. With those big augers that we saw inside the boxes. You can see all these different conveyors. Look at this old wooden wheel here with a belt going around it. A while ago, I showed you in the video, it was a picture of a belt with little cups on it. The cups would fill up full of stuff, and then as the belt rolled around, it would dump it out of the cups and pick up more. It's fascinating how they did all this stuff. Of course, there was a lot of dust. And a lot of the mills burned down because of the dust. My. Well, we're going to head back down 4 flights of stairs. Pretty neat old fire pit. Huh. Get a fire going in there. Be like an oven. Here's the river. You can't really see under the mill, but as the water flows under the mill, but this is still a working mill. They're not doing anything right now, but you can see the water coming down out of there. But instead of a water wheel, it's run by a water turbine. I'll show you one of the turbines upstairs. It's kind of like the modern day dams, hydroelectric dams, where the water hits the fan, more or less, the cupped box, which, then turns, right? So it's a turbine, which then powers the mill. So this isn't run by a big old water wheel. This is run by a turbine. So, pretty cool. We got a nice little setting area. Maybe we can walk around on the other side and see what the other side looks like. Pretty cool mill. Here you can see how the water comes down this canal. Down there's a covered bridge. It comes down here and then flows underneath of the mill and into the turbine. They need to get down there and clean all that out. But a timber frame covered bridge. Nice little walk down through there. So it looks like down there's a little, like an old blacksmith shop type of a thing. So maybe I can get Mom to walk down through there. She's in the store still. But It's a pretty cool old mill, but you know, like a lot of these mills, it's just out in the middle of nowhere, where people from the surrounding area would bring their stuff, have it ground up, and then I'm sure they would ship it out. Like at over Metamora, Indiana, where they had all the water canal system, which, you know, they had canal boats that moved goods up and down the canals to the mills. So this is kind of along the same thing. Not necessarily a canal, probably an old stream at one time. But pretty neat little place. Now, there's a lot of these little mills all over the place. We went to a couple when we were down in the Smoky Mountains, down in Tennessee, but I was reading and it said at one time there was over 100,000 of these mills in operation, and now there's less than 100. I mean, you can imagine the upkeep on these old mills, just to keep them running. But I don't think you can find better product, wheat, cornmeal, flour, whatever. But it's pretty cool. I'm gonna catch up to Tammy. Okay, so here you go. You got the Greenville Creek that runs through here. The mill preserve, right? Here's the creek. And then they dug this mill race out over here that goes through the mill and then back to the creek again. So they just dug a little channel over here to power the mill. Pretty cool. Campfire pit, veterans monument, canoe kayak launch. Tecumseh multi-use trail, Portage Trail, Sycamore Trails, dam. I've got all kinds of things here. It's pretty cool. Okay, what I thought was a blacksmith shop is actually the miller's home, built in 1923. Drying tobacco. Bought the mill and the property, renovated it into their home. Wow. Now that's pretty cool. Along the trail here's this bear. But the kids have a lot of fun with that, don't you think? Mm-hmm. And we can continue on up the trail. We're taking this little trail from the mill towards the covered bridge, and this is a memorial, soldiers memorial, Vietnam memorial. It's along the path here. And you get the walk out here and you see the covered bridge. By comparison speaking, it's a small one, but still. There was a lot of these covered bridges, you know, in this area, Indiana area, in the Ohio area, all over, to cross these things, and they're not used much anymore because it takes too much to keep them up. Most of them are closed to traffic, but as a kid, we drove across a lot of these covered bridges that were still in operation. Over by where my aunt used to live in Cutler, Indiana. But you can see the canal as it goes down towards the mill. So the mill is down and around. But they just dug this out off of the main river, or creek as it was. But this is a nice little trail back in here. And they got a big fire pit. But this isn't the memorial. Really done nice. I like to see that. It's really done nice. Well done to the Boy Scouts. Dome from the old courthouse. Here's the old covered bridge. Well, that's not as old as I thought, but I would imagine. You can see the main river up there from the canal as it goes down, and you can just make out the mill down there. See it way down there. Okay, we're down here to the end of it. And here's where the river splits off. So all this is the river or creek going down that way, right? Of course, there's a lot of trees and stuff that's piled up against the dam. Here's some information panel for you. You can pause the video so you can read that, but the dam's 8 feet tall, 165 foot long, 7 foot thick. I'm sorry? See a snake down there. Oh yeah. There's a snake right down there on the concrete. Well, he can stay down there as far as I'm concerned. They got a sign out here that says that this is the Bears Mill Electric Company. I assume this is the gate that lets more water down in the canal that goes to the mill. So the water comes out of the gate from the main river and then flows down towards the mill. And the Bears Mill Electric Company. There's a sign on the building that says that. Another gate here that lets water down through here, but you can see they need to clean it out from all the trash that's accumulated here. come all, upriver. It all ends up down here, piled up against the dam. But you get an idea how they built these things. They diverted water off of a main river or main creek or something, just enough to turn the mill. So they didn't necessarily have to build the mill right on the river. There you go. It's a pretty neat place. You wouldn't think you'd find it out here. Yeah, well, it is kind of middle of nowhere, but this is a farming country. And one of the things that Tammy and I have been doing is there's a lot of Amish, Mennonite, Quaker families that live in this area. And we've been visiting all of the Amish stores and general stores. And let me tell you, you want some good food. Wow. But we've been visiting these general stores in the Amish communities. Today we thought we'd go and find the old mills. And so we've found 2 of them today. And there's many more, but we found 2 of them today. Clifton Mills, and it's over by Springfield and Dayton. And this is Bears Mill near Greenville. So really neat places to go. A lot of history in these places of the way that things used to be done. So hope you enjoyed the video, and hope you had fun coming along with us. But these are pretty cool places. A lot of history here too. So thanks for coming along with us, and as we tour some more stuff, we'll get back to you. Have a great day. Bye.